been a long time coming, but yes, finally, another Bucks video. I know I've been slacking. I'm just one man with a tiny YouTube channel. The Rays just started, Lightning in the playoffs. Like, I can only do so much, but we're here. We're here. No, I'm not giving you the 927th mock draft you've seen this draft season. We're just getting down to it, okay? The draft is this week. It's Thursday. I'm going to give you my top guys that I'd be happy with. If the Bucks are able to get them at 26, some of them might be gone. We might have multiple options that are on this list. But pretty much any of these guys I'd be happy with. So we're going to give them a quick rundown, quick overview. I'll throw some highlights up on the screen. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. First guy we're going to be looking at, or I guess first position group, because I grouped them by position needs, I guess. So interior offensive line is one group, defensive line another group, and then I threw secondary as the third group. But really those first two are the biggest needs for the Buccaneers. Interior line, defensive line. I like fat guys. Pause. I want fat guys in this draft. I want fat guys. So does Jason Light. He loves fat guys too. So I'm not too worried about that. All of these guys that I'm going to go through, you've probably heard of them by now if you're clicking on this video. So let's just get to it. Jackson Powers-Johnson, mean, nasty, dirty. How I like my offensive lineman. It is. Ryan Jensen is one of his favorite players to watch, just watching highlights and stuff like that. So that attitude, I love it. I love it. Prospect grade, they give him a 6.36. This is out of 8, by the way, so that is a pretty good score. The height and weight, it's there, 6'3", 328. That's perfectly fine for a center. Production score and athleticism score are both a 79. And he is a guy that I could definitely see being there when the Bucks are up to pick. He's had a lot of movement through all of the draft season. I mean, he started in the second round and went all the way up to probably around like 14, 15, and now he's fallen back a little bit. That's how things work. Really all that matters is draft day, but as of right now, I can definitely see him being there when the Bucks pick at 26. Strengths, broad chest, thick, rugged. This is what I just talked about. Rugged, disdainful attitude towards opponents. Hello, I'm here for it. Adequate footwork for double teams, workup blocks. Weaknesses, so limited experience as a full-time starter, below average body control, lateral quickness could be a bit better, and his reactiveness against an athletic rusher, such as some that we may see in this video, can be a bit better. So, interior offensive line, it's not a position that is exciting in the first round, especially with a guy like Jason Light in the front office. He finds them later than that, like it's nothing. And there are plenty of guys in this draft. I mean, McCormick, Hayes. There are options outside of these guys in the first round. So it just depends how it falls. But Jackson Powers-Johnson, love his attitude. I'd be cool if the Bucks took him. The next guy we're looking at is Graham Barton out of Duke. He played left tackle all throughout college, but he will be transferring or shifting over to that left guard role if he were to be picked by the Buccaneers. His prospect grade is a 6.46, so better than Jackson Powers-Johnson. Height 6'5", weight 313, so more taller, a little bit slender than Jackson Powers-Johnson, who's a little bit shorter, more thicker, more broad. For Barton, 81 production score, 92 athleticism score. That is amazing. Total score of a 90, and they're giving him elite. I would say he's the most pro-ready interior offensive lineman in this draft. Fairly easily. I mean, his versatility, like I said, playing left tackle in college and going to be able to shift to guard. He can pretty much play any position along the offensive line. But let's look at NFL's strengths for him here. Bend, core strength, technique of an NFL starter. Fits and finishes his block. Good climber, which is obviously important for that guard position. Once settled into defenders in a run or pass scenario, he's usually the winner. And playing for Duke, you saw him go against guys like Jared Verse, and he held his own. He looked good. So, weaknesses, arms are shorter than the NFL standard for his position. Not as big of a deal. You know the whole reason he's going from tackle to guard. Those arms, that arm length as a tackle, it's much more important than it will be for a guard or a center. So, weakness, yes, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. Corrals escaping defenders with his arms, which could bring flags. Occasionally struggles to get into position. Needs to guard against lunging as a second level blocker. So, consistent, versatile, most pro ready guy. I do not think he's going to be there when the Bucs pick at 26. But if he is there, that's instant starter. I don't think you're going to go through the type of growing pains you went through with a Cody Mock. Cody Mock was pretty slow to start the season. He was undersized. You're looking for him to put on more weight. It's a project. Graham Barton, much more pro ready. Just slide him in there at that left guard position, and that improves your offensive line as a whole. All right, so next we're going to be shifting over to the defensive line. This is what I want. I'll just be straight and honest. This is what I want. Defensive line. Love the guys. Love the prospects for that interior offensive line between Powers Johnson and Graham Barton. Really good prospects. I think they would both fit well on this offensive line. But that D-line can really just change a defense. First year without Carlton Davis. It's been a while. Jamel Dean seems to get injured every year. This will be Zion McCollum's, I would say he was a starter last year, but first real true season as a starter. There's question marks there. Getting a stud pass rusher, stud defensive lineman, that helps not just the D-line, but the secondary as well, which I think will need help. So, without further ado, our first guy. Laiatu Latu, out of UCLA, started his college career at Washington, where he ran into some medical trouble. Neck injury, very scary thing, something you got to be really careful with, and that is really the only reason he's sliding in the draft. Production is great, athleticism's good, he can finish, he gets the sacks, he has the moves, he's pro ready. He can come into this defense, and I could see an 8+ sack season fairly easily. Like, I truly think he's that good of a pass rusher. 6'5", 260, perfect. Production score is a 90, like I said. He can finish, he can get those sacks. It's exactly what you're looking for. That is first among defensive end and edge. And for athleticism score, he got a 75, so a total score of 84. 40-yard dash, ran a 4.6. And then let's see if, yes, they do say it here. So 2021 in Washington, he did not play. University of Washington doctors would not clear him due to his neck injury. That's, concerning. NFL comparison, that's high praise right there. But it's just, other than that neck injury, he has everything you're looking for with an edge rusher. He's not just some athletic guy who you kind of got to work on his spin move, work on his swim move, work on some bull rush. I mean, he has the tools. It's just, can he stay healthy? What's going on with his neck? That stuff, I don't think anyone on the outside really knows. So, weaknesses, the top one, of course. Medical concerns surrounding his neck injury will need to be evaluated. Frame and build, body type are average. Okay, I mean, he's 6'5". We don't need some 6'8" power forward at edge rusher. That's okay. Legs straighten out during rush engagement. Okay, plays with good power. Doesn't carry a firm anchor against the run. Todd Bowles, he likes to rotate his defensive line heavily. I feel like if there is a run-heavy scenario, we have the guys to sub in for Latu if need be. Strengths, menacing portfolio of movement, entry angles in his rush. Like I said, all of the moves are there. Motor and strength, times up bull rush as well. Quick run rusher, stacks and sheds blockers with good timing. I mean, he has everything, and this is my guy. That's who I want, and I wouldn't even be mad if the Bucs moved up a little bit to get him. I mean, the Bucs acquired another third-round pick in that Carlton Davis trade. If they moved up to get Latu, yes, the injury concerns are scary, but I think the potential might be too much to pass up. Go get him. All right, next up on the defensive line is Jerzan Newton and Bay Made out of St. Petersburg, Florida. Automatically a fan there. Height 6'2", weight 304. Not the edge guy like Latu is. He more will fit into that Cansey role. Like I said, we have Cansey. We got Vita. Like I said, Logan Hall, William Golston, Greg Gaines. Do any of those names make you excited, make you happy? Probably not. I love you, Golston. I mean, ageless wonder right there with Levante David, but you know what I'm saying. Production score, an 88. Athleticism score, 70. Total score, an 83. Going down to strengths and weaknesses. So strengths, compact, muscular, plenty of upper body power, loose limb, athletic ability, to run the field like a big defensive end. Outstanding instincts, foot quickness, edge to edge, agility and suddenness, unlock slide and slap move to beat guards quickly. And onto his weaknesses, tends to catch rather than jolt blockers at initial contact. Needs to tighten up his shed timing as a tackler. Occasionally loses rush lanes. You know, when you got a guy like Levante David behind you, every once in a while, occasionally, it's okay. You got someone to save you. But yeah, if the Bucs picked him, I'm happy. Might be a little biased because he's from the Tampa Bay area. That always makes me happy. But I mean, he looks like a stud. The film looks good. Production is there. No questioning the numbers. Athleticism could be a little bit better. He's not like Kalijah Cansey type athletic, but he is an athletic player. And getting a body like him right there next to Vita and Kalijah, I mean, that's danger. That's danger. Kirk Cousins, look out. Bryce Young, look out. And Derek Carr, I mean, he's just going to throw an interception anyway. So yeah. All right. This is definitely my least favorite of the defensive linemen. Not least favorite overall, but of the defensive linemen, Chop Robinson. Went to Penn State, height 6'3", weight 250, prospect grade 6.5. Looks good there. Athleticism score, an 84. Production score, a 68. Athletic freak. And the reason he scares me, I mean, looking at the combine results, everything looks fantastic. I mean, a sub 4.5 for an edge rusher. I mean, there's nothing to complain about there, just looking at his athletic ability. Where he scares me is he's a project. His moves aren't the most sound. He has some improvements to be made there. And it just, every time I hear he's an athlete, but is he a football player? He can run really fast, jump really high, has all the tangibles. I mean, the height, the weight, arm length. But is he a football player? There's a difference there. There is a difference. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, he has the frame. He has the athletic ability. But is he a football player? He's a project. And the project has not come to fruition yet. And we're going into year, 4? So that's what scares me away from him. And then I tell myself, well, what about Yaya Diaby? Yaya Diaby, huge frame, just looks like an athletic freak. He comes in his rookie year and has a good season. He's a project. He still has room to improve, plenty of room to improve on his pass rushing technique. So there's a project going in the right direction. But then there's Joe, where it's not going in the right direction. Or Logan Hall, it's not in the right direction. I just would prefer a more set and sound guy where you know you can just throw him in there and you're good. Latu, Newton. I'm confident in both of those guys. I'm not completely confident in Chop Robinson. And I think this, it fits him perfectly. Boom or bust potential. So strengths, rare explosiveness and speed. Yes, very much so. He looks very much like a Micah Parsons. Athletic-wise, just the way he can move, how fast he is, crazy pursuit. But I don't think he's as polished of a football player as Micah when he was coming in to the NFL. Natural leverage, slant quickness, tears out of his stance like a track sprinter into his rush. Sounds about right. Exceptional lower body flexion to dip way low. Tightly make the turn. Weaknesses, modest production relative to his elite traits. Makes sense. And here's this here. I get the comparisons to Micah Parsons, but I think Parsons was a little more. Did I not just say that? Chop is still a little green. So hands and feet lack harmony as a pass rusher. Still learning to set up tackles. Inconsistent in getting feet under his pads. So there's things to work on with Chop Robinson. The athletic ability and the potential is there, but will it come to fruition? Is that a risk the Bucs are willing to take? We'll see Thursday. So we went through interior offensive line. We went through defensive line. Now we'll go into secondary, which I don't think is as big of a need as those first two positions, but it still is a need, so I'm going to include it in this video. Also because I think there's going to be some pretty good prospects, at least a couple of them, potentially at that 26 spot. So the first one, he's less likely to be there, but Cooper DeJean, a white cornerback that may scare you, but I promise you the guy's extremely athletic. He has the size, he has the frame that Todd Bowles likes, and he's a playmaker. Both the guys I'm going to show you are playmakers. They will go get an interception. They will go make a play. So prospect grade 6.36. Like I said, 6 foot, 200 pounds. Production score is 87. Athleticism is 79. Total score of an 85. Strengths, starting experience at strong safety and cornerback. Very versatile player. I know a lot of people try and give him the rap of, oh, he can't play press man. He's better suited as a safety in the NFL. He can't really. Just the man-to-man scares a lot of people. There's a difference between not having to play man-to-man in college at Iowa, where they ran a lot of zone, a lot of cover 3. What is he going to do? Not do his job and just say, you know what? I'm going to man this guy up because some fans are watching and they might question my man-to-man skill. No, you're going to play cover 3. You're going to go win a game. Okay? He played cover 3, won some games. Like I said, there's a difference. You can't just say he can't play man-to-man because he didn't have to play man-to-man in college. Do I think he's one of the best man-to-man players in this draft? No. But I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's just going to get ate up in the NFL when he has to play man-to-man. Definitely don't think so. Strengths, starting experience, I already read that. Explosive athlete, hitting markers and height, weight, speed. Cool. Ball tracking skills of receiver. finishing his career with 7 interceptions, returned 3 of those for scores. Like I said, playmaker. He'll go make a play. Tracks the pass and plays the entry point with big bursts, charges hard, slams into pass catchers. Weaknesses. So hip tightness will be hard to overcome in man coverage. So there's that. Struggles to open hips and find sudden acceleration. Fails to turn and find the football when traveling with deep routes. Played a series of bad offenses and wasn't challenged much in 2023. You're getting penalized for playing in the Big Ten, my brother. Below average length allows some slippage as a wrap-up tackler. So one more thing I do want to talk about. Very good returner, with kick returns being prevalent again in the NFL. Not only can come in as a corner, whatever he ends up being, very versatile player, but he can also be your kick returner, which the Bucs can very much use. So on to the next, and on to the last one, and that will be the best name of all of our prospects here. I mean, Jackson Powers Johnson, it's a really good name. Laiatu Latu, another good name. Jerzon Newton, good name. Chop Robinson, good name. Cooper DeJean, I mean, I think that's a pretty good name, but Kool-Aid McKinstry takes the crown. How does it not? So Kool-Aid, a little bit shorter, 5'11", 200 pounds as well. So Todd and Jason usually go for the over 6 foot marker when it comes to their cornerbacks. But he probably fits the bill more of a Todd Bowles corner if he decides to, go back to a little bit more of the man-to-man sending blitzes like we're used to. Pulled away a little bit from that last season, but we'll see how that goes. So production score, 83. Athleticism, 76. Total score, 83. NFL comparison, A.J. Terrell. So there's a guy in the division that we see pretty often. Pretty good player. So strength, smart football player, good communication on the back ends, balance and athleticism to remain in phase with the receiver, does a nice job of reading the receiver's eyes, plays with poise, possesses rapid acceleration, well-timed punches, and again, I said this guy was a playmaker, very much is. Highly capable punt returner. So weaknesses, better short area bursts and full field speed, tugs at receiver instead of relying on his feet, bad habit of sleeping on the play when he's not directly targeted, and that's pretty concerning. Content to stay in the backdrop as a run defender, pretty concerning. I like my corners to be able to tackle. Inconsistent reaction time to route combinations from the zone. So threw him in here. He's probably, out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys, he's probably number 7 in the guys that I would want. But if he did get drafted, like let's say the draft just falls weird and somehow he's the only guy from all of these guys that are left on the board, I would not be mad if the Bucs took him. I'd be cool with it. I think just the playmaking ability can make up for some of his, weaknesses. And a lot of these weaknesses, like this, can all be coached up. This is not like, oh, he can't high point a football and get the timing down, or he can't run faster than blah, blah, blah. Like, prefers to stay in the backdrop on run plays, or seems disinterested when the ball is not targeted him. Those are things you can coach up and get the player right mentally. So there we go. There is my little draft rundown. There's my one draft video. I'll do a video after the draft, recapping the draft, but my one draft video prior. Glad I'm able to get one out. Like I said, NHL playoffs, the Rays season just getting started. Kind of sits in the background. There's plenty of Bucs pages out there. Loose Cannons, Real Bucs Talk, Pewter Report. I mean, all great coverage on the draft. And There's plenty of stuff out there, but I just wanted to give my quick rundown. We're not doing film study, all this other stuff, mock drafts. Quick rundown. Here's my 7 guys. I'd be happy with these guys. Give you a little bit of overview of them. Throw some highlights on the screen. Boom. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment your thoughts down below. Who would you like to see the Bucks draft? Are you cool with the people that I put up here? Is there someone that I missed? Or is there someone that you think doesn't belong? So once again, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and go Bucks.